Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to CollectioNeo. This is Alex, and as usual I'm back with another statue review. Today, it's a momentous occasion, as with any popcultureshock piece, but when it's a 1/3 scale ninja, there's something to celebrate for sure. Yes, today we have the 1/3 scale ninja Reptile. Now if you have watched my other 1/3 ninja reviews of Scorpion and Subzero, you know, this this line and these statues have been kind of fraught. Long delays, changes in, let's say, from prototype to production piece. But overall, I was really fucking happy with my Scorpion and Subzero, and I've still got them, and I still love them, and I still think they're awesome. And I think Reptile just adds to that trifecta. Is he the best out of the three? Stick around and we'll go over it all. Let's go straight off the bat. Let's talk about this. This fabric is pretty much the same as what you were getting on Subzero and Scorpion. The hood fabric, this fabric here on the face, the fabric underneath, the trousers, it's the same as Scorpion and Subzero. I'm just going to reiterate that again. It's a slightly better quality. It's got more of a rough texture, but it's pretty much the same. You know, same stitching, same cut, all that sort of thing. So if you weren't happy with the fabric on the first two, I doubt you're going to be happy with this. Now, if you were happy with the fabric on the first, you're going to love this. It's, like I say, it's slightly better. It hasn't got that sheen to it that Scorpion and Subzero's has. Like I say, I had no problems with the fabric on the first two whatsoever. I think with a little bit of adjustment, they both look great. And same with Reptile. All the clothing's removable, pretty much, so you can get a steamer in there or whatever you want to do. A few different things on this guy. On the neck, there's actually where the head connects, there's actually a ton of fabric that you can pull out that pulls right up. So you can fold that down and make the neck slightly thicker, or you can pull it up over the head, depending on how you wanted to get that thickness in the neck. I kind of like because I've just literally stuck this head on quick. I haven't really adjusted it, so it's a little thin in the neck, but there's material there to be played with that wasn't there with Scorpion and Subzero. So fabric done. It's good. For me, it's perfectly fine. Could it have been better? Sure, it could have been. Is it different than Proto? I don't know. Jerry insists it's the same fabric, but hey, who am I to argue? It looks different than on the photos. Is it any worse? I don't know. I prefer the cut. I much prefer the cut on these than the Protos. I like the look of them more than the Protos. Especially the Scorpion Proto. It had like a fluffiness to it. It just looked like thick toweling. And I think the Scorpion fabric was a lot better. And when we're talking about fabric, we're mainly talking about the tunic, because no one really complains about this fabric. It's all about this one. This is what people are replacing. And the hood fabric. I think the stretchy fabric for the hood was never the best. And it wasn't the best on Subzero and Scorpion either. But it looks good. It does look good, and you've got the shape of the head. He looks much better in person, like the other two. The shape of the head and how the ears pop out on the hood, all that looks better in person. Trust me, these are things that need to be seen in person. It's a bit of a shitty thing because, you know, well, what's the point of doing this review then? Well, I sometimes think that myself, but no, it's like all statues. You know, a good video can give you what, 50% of what you get in hand. You don't really get a full thing. All you can do is trust my opinions. If you don't trust my opinions, hey, what's the point of watching the video? Never mind me making this. So what I'm going to do, we've got Reptile in a minute, in at the moment in his sort of normal ninja configuration. So we've got two open hands. It is the same body sculpt as Subzero and Scorpion, same head sculpt. It's just that the arms have been resculpted, which is basically what they did with Subzero to Scorpion. From Scorpion's main body mould, and then obviously we've got a new base. So it is the basic 1/3 scale ninja that we've had twice before, but obviously this one's been reptiled up. So I'm going to bring the camera down We're going to go over all these accessories because there's a few bits. We'll go over the base, what's good, what's bad, and we'll go from there. First step up is, of course, the COA. So Reptile was $750 compared to Scorpion Sub-Zero, which was $699. Still a great price for a 1/3 scale piece. And I think if you paid up full on Reptile, it was something like $620, $630, something like that, because you got the full discount. As you can see straight away, the hood on the COA, that's what they should have been like. More of a, I don't know, I even like the material around the mouth is obviously more of a thicker toweling material. This is more of a stretchy. But there we go. It is what it is, guys. You know, like I say, it's I've always said that 90% proto is what we're looking for, and I think this is about there. I do think, you know, those slight changes don't equate to, you know, there's people who think that it equates to, you know, 30, oh, this is 50% of proto. It isn't. It's a lot closer. So there's the COA, Mortal Kombat Classic, Reptile 1/3 scale exclusive. Yeah, so I think this is only basically they did the same as with what they did with the 1/4 Classics, where Reptile was just an exclusive. They did 350 of them, which was the same as Sub-Zero. There's only 150 Scorpions out there. But I'm sure that they're not including artist proofs, of course, which is a very, very contentious point. I do like to get a number nowadays. I think a number's much better, but that's a discussion for another day. You also get a piece of paper just with a picture of Reptile on there, which appears to be the prototype. So slightly different again, slightly different cut on the tunic. But that can happen. If you want it to look like that, you can do it like that. You can if you want to. It will go like that. All three of them will go like that if you need them to. So there's the on off of the light switch, blah blah. Make sure the main switch is off before connecting the power cord. All that sort of stuff. So what do we get with Reptile? Like I say, 2 normal hands, which we've just seen on the Ninja, which I'll just pull in close. Really good nails. Got kind of Vega nails where they're slightly pointed. This is mixed media leather. They are real straps. That's polystone. Paints all round are brilliant on him. I thought the paints on Scorpion and Sub-Zero were great. I think it carries over onto Reptile. I think there's a bit more definition on the veins on Reptile, but you know, he's more of a hot-blooded creature, whereas Scorpion was dead. You know, he's got that whiteness, that ghostness, is ghostness a word? That he's very pale, and then he's got like the dirt and the ash from the underworld, and then obviously Sub-Zero very cold. So with Reptile, I'd say he's got the most human and most fleshy textured tones on his on the arms, compared to out of the 3. And there's the other hand. So you get 2 normal hands, and then you get these hands, which are, in my opinion, awesome. So these are like, I think they're calling them acid hands. I like to think that it's like the startup of the force ball that Reptile throws out. And it's like this very cool translucent resin running through the fingers. Again, mixed media strap. That one's that side. And there was a lot of talk on this guy about the seams on the hands. And there's the other one, where the hands connect. But I will show you right now that it's not... I'm just going to tighten everything up so my camera doesn't flop around. I'm going to go up and we're going to go in. So the hand connects there. So it's quite a natural seam line. Now what we do have, what many people have pointed out to me when I did pictures for this guy, you have a tiny, tiny seam line there, but that's it. That is literally it, guys. Do not worry. I've seen worse examples where it isn't lining up properly, but they're really, really unnoticeable. Now, whether people get different ones than this, but I don't know. But you know, for me, that's more than acceptable. There's been heads on statues that have got way worse. Zangief, who I reviewed not long back, has got a pretty bad neck seam, which I don't even think I mentioned because I was so in awe with the rest of the statue. That's what I mean. You see pictures, you focus on certain things, and it's not usually the whole picture. So what else do we get? Another hand we get is this one, which is like a claw, and it comes with a mask. So this is supposed to be for the lizard head, which we'll get onto in a minute. So when he rips his mask off, you can have it held in the hand. Now on the Proto, this looks a lot better. This is basically the mask that he's wearing, but it hasn't been stretched out. So as you can see, if you stretch it out, it's quite large. It needs ironing, basically. It's even got the piece of metal in, which is in the mask. So this is literally the mask that they put on the head. It's got like, it's just stretchy, so it can go around the face. So yeah, that needs a bit of a touch up. That is probably the worst part of the statue. That's where it's fallen down a little. That should be a lot better. You know, it's this glossy material, but the fact is that needs ironing out. It should have been slightly torn, it needed blood on it, it needed something, you know, burnt slightly where the acid from his mouth has been. Something, you know, to give it a bit, because that looks so fucking brand new. It doesn't work, really. It looks okay, don't get me wrong, it's not going, you know, it's not going to ruin the statue, but for me, with the two acid hands, the mask hand is kind of, you know, not super great. So basically you can just stuff the mask into the hand, so he's holding like that. And this is only for his right hand. So let's get the goo one out. Mask hand in. There's the mask hand. So it's literally just the mask taken out. And then we move on to heads. So I'm going to pull the ninja head off. I'm going to go through all these up close, and then I'll put one of them, the lizard head, on, so you guys can have a look. Like the other two, the eyes are really well done. They've gone for like a yellow, lizardy look. Really well painted. And as usual, this mask can be manipulated. I've seen a lot of people where it's like that, and it gives it like this straightness. You've really got to pull this black bit back. You can lift that up higher if you want to see more of his brow. You know, easily manipulated. And I've just grabbed scorpions here as well, just so we can have a comparison. They are pretty much the same. I think Scorpion's actually got a bigger face. The eyes look bigger, the brows are bigger. It's definitely a new sculpt, actually, for the reptile face. Slightly different texture on that, slightly different shape. But like I say, that can be altered with the mask. So not too different. Slightly bigger plug on Scorpion. Of course, you've got the connector for the light up on the skull head with Scorpion. Talking of skull heads, now if any of you have played Mortal Kombat, I'm sure you have. On the first game, Reptile was a secret boss, and he was literally a recolor of Scorpion. You found him in the pit. A recolor of Scorpion. They gave him a freeze ball, which was green. And I don't even think it was on the arcade versions. I think it was only on the console versions that that Reptile had a fatality, and it was basically Scorpion's fatality, which was toasty, but the flame was green, and the skull had like a green tint to it. So I was like, and so when they put Reptile up, he said, "Comes with skull head." I was like, "Oh, cool! They're doing like the Mortal Kombat 1 fatality thing. So it'll be Scorpion's skull head with a green tint on it. That'll be pretty cool. I'd probably never display it, but it's nice that they've gone for that. And then they give us this. Now, it's up to you whether you think that looks painted better or not. It is a difference. I think they've took the same skull, but put it on a different neck joint, so it's more like a thicker reptile look. But where's the green tint? No green tint. It's just a brown skull. No, it does not fit in Scorpion's neck hole. So, for me, that's one for the box. And to always stay in the box, I will never display that skull head. Do you want me to put it on? I'm not even going to put it on for the review. That to me is just whatever. Whatever. Because when you've got the ninja head and then you've got this head, the skull isn't going to look in. So of course, Reptile, I've shown you the mask hand, rips his mask off, and we've got the Reptile head. Now this has been done so well. Got clear resin for the teeth. The eyes are perfectly picked out, and the sculpt and texture, paintwork is just fantastic on it. Now the only thing I don't like on this head is this part here. It's a seam line at the back of the head, like that bit's been put in. But I don't see why it would be. Because it all feels like one big solid piece. So I don't know why that line's there. I don't understand why that's there. But you're never going to see it from the back. The lizard head is brilliant. I'm going to pop the lizard head in. And we'll move on to the base, because I've completely skipped over the base, haven't I, so far? And then I'll do a bit of free flow, guys. We'll do a bit of free camera work. And then a big comparison shot. Now the base, it's a bit flat. I still think Sub-Zero's got the best base. Both Scorpions and Reptiles look way better lit up. You know, everything about Scorpions was the light up. That is the best thing about Scorpion's base. You know, it's very dark. This has got a bit more going on. But let's see if we can get down there. And then we'll light up. Bit of adjustment, I'm going to pause. So there we go, guys. So the base is actually, you know, it's painted with, this eye is really glossy, really nicely done. And it's got like a simple wash on it. We've got blood splatters on the base, you know. There's the power port and the on-off switch. It's AC only, which is fantastic for me. I don't really like batteries. But this top bit, it just looks a little flat without the light on. It looks fine. It reminds me of a gaming head's base. Every gaming head statue I have, the base just looks a little bit flat. Now, I don't think this is sculpt. I think this is down to paint, where gaming heads, most of the time, it's sculpt. They don't put enough texture and things. This looks like paint. I think it just needs a little bit more of a wash on it. You know, it's a solid 6.5 out of 10 base, you know, for this top bit. The eye, like I say, looks awesome. And once we get the power cord in and light it up, it does, you know, enhance it tremendously, like Scorpions. The LED effect is kind of subtle. It's a good vivid green. So I'm just going to put you there. Turn that light off. That light off. So, you know, it's there. It's not enough to light the statue from below, like same as Scorpions, but it looks really nice. And when you've got all three of them lit up together, which we'll get on to, I think it's, you know, the light up does make the base, in my opinion. It needs it. It does need it. So, like I say, we'll do a bit of freeform camera work. So like I say, there's your base. See that eye is done really well. The LED effects, blood on the base, the shin guards. I've seen people saying that the shin guards are a different colour than the green tunic, and it's slightly different. And to be honest, they both look quite bright on camera. But in hand, it's a much more darker green. So you've got the hand holding the mask. The snot hand, as I've been calling him. And then going up to the lizard head. If you, like I say, if you're happy with the first two, you'll be happy with this guy. You really will. The back's the back. Trousers you can still adjust, pull down, pull around, whatever you want to do with them. Like I say, it's with the fabric how it is, you can literally mess with it and have it how you want it. You know, if you want him to have tight trousers, pull them up. If you want them a bit baggier, pull them down. If you want the V-split, move the waistband higher, pull the tunic down further. If you don't want the V-split, leave it as is. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to pause. We're going to whip Reptile over to the display next to Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and we'll have a look at all three of them together. And we're back, and I haven't put the big lights. I haven't put the lights on yet. I've got my cabinet lights on, as you can see. So as you can see, nowhere near as bright as Scorpion's base, but it's subtle enough. It makes the base look a lot better. And as you can see, I'm using the skull head on Scorpion, which I never thought I'd use, and I absolutely adore that skull head. You know, as theme bases go, they're pretty much spot on. So I'm going to flip the lights on, guys, and we'll have a look at them in the light. So here we go. All three together. I'll try and get back as far as I can without Zangief taking my head off. As you can see, Reptile is a tiny bit shorter. I think that's just down to the base. But together, all three look great. In my opinion. You know. But as you can see, I mean, remember, this is not under my proper lighting. See, Sub-Zero quite pale, touch of veinage, lots of blood. Darker skin on Reptile. But again, it's kind of washed out here because of the, you know, these guys are right next to the light. And then Scorpion, paler, touch of veinage, lots of dirt and ash on him. But there you go, guys. I'm really happy with the set now. You know, they do complement each other, and you know they are. You know, they do come into their own when you've got the three of them displayed. I know that PCS has taken a break from ninjas. They've done Molina and Katana in the 1-3 line. Of course, Shao Kahn on Throne. They recently teased another one which looked like the Deadwoods. Don't know if it's Mortal Kombat, but it does look like the Deadwoods. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Ermac. Whether it'll be classic Ermac and they'll just reuse this body, I'd be very surprised. But all the shit that they've gone through with the reception to these guys, I don't know if they'd use the same body again. It makes sense because they keep the price down. They could probably knock another one out the same price as Reptile, $750. But yeah, we'll see. I think that's about it, guys. We're at 25 minutes nearly. I think I've covered everything about him. The bottom line is, if you're happy with your Scorpion and Sub-Zero, you'll be happy with Reptile. If you weren't happy with your Sub-Zero and Scorpion, and you sold them, then don't bother with Reptile. But I think anyone who's got the first two and is picking up Reptile, you'll be more than happy. You'll be more than happy. And like I say, there's a display of three together. They look great, in my opinion. As with all these videos, these are my opinions. They may be positive, which I know gets to a lot of people, but there we go. Yes, I'm very happy. And more Mortal Kombat to come, hopefully. MKX, Scorpion and Subzero, Legacy Raiden, and then whatever the future holds. They did say they've got a couple of Legacy sculpts done. I'm hoping for some, you know, Kung Lao, some Cabal, Ermac, MK9 or MKX Ermac would be a dream in one full. But we'll wait and see, guys. So there you go. They're Reptile, 1/3 scale from popcultureshock Toys. Very happy. Next review, guys, I've got no idea. I've got no idea what's coming. So, hey, be as much as a surprise to me as it would be to you. There you go. So we'll see you next review, guys, and thanks for watching. Bye!